With every Kingdom Hearts game, we are presented a journey, a mission, a goal in mind for the heroes of the Keyblade across time, space, and now even death. The advent of Kingdom Hearts 4 presents a particular problem unlike any we've ever seen in the series before, in which our hero, Sora, has been trapped within a world that is not unlike a sort of afterlife, a great beyond after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, where he paid the ultimate price and sacrificed his own existence, his life, in order to restore Kyrie. But his story is not at an end. We find him in Quadratum, the world of fiction, unreality, a realm described as an afterworld to certain people, yet it is full of life all of its own. But what is life to those that are not part of that life? Is it death? Kingdom Hearts 4 seeks to present these themes and problems to Sora and us the players as we begin the Lost Master arc, where Sora will surely traverse the realms and themes of the other side, sacrifice and death, in which you will realize that this understanding is what all of Sora's adventures has truly been leading up to. What's up everyone, it's HMK once again. Allow me to take you into a deep dive within that of darkness and death, and how exploring these themes will grant you and Sora a better understanding of the heart. Be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Let's dive directly into the darkness. When talking about the specifics, connections, and separations of worlds that include death, sacrifice, and the other side for Kingdom Hearts 4, we also have to talk about an element that is intrinsically tied to those aspects of sadness: friends, or rather, family. As what we leave behind for those that remember us will be a core aspect to the narrative of Kingdom Hearts 4, I believe, and the journey through these specific worlds will help convey that to Sora. There is, however, one world and one entity that seeks to tie all of this together in a very odd but understandable way. And no, I don't mean Quadratum or any specific denizen from there. I am talking about the champion of returning worlds in all of Kingdom Hearts. That's right, Olympus, or rather, the underworld. And the entity I speak of is the Lord of the Dead, Hades. In the reveal trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, Donald and Goofy search the underworld for someone who could provide assistance in locating Sora, given that the heroes now know of his predicament somewhat. It is there that Hades reveals himself off screen. As the Lord of the Dead, Hades actually has proven himself on multiple occasions to have nearly complete control over the realm of death and those that have died, even beyond that of his world of Olympus, as he has shown to summon and reanimate those that have died across his own static presence within the established Kingdom Hearts timeline, despite specific people dying in specific ways and in specific worlds. It is to the point that I believe that he does have nearly total control over various realms and interpretations of the afterlife that are all connected to, or rather pulled together into the underworld, with his domain acting as a hub that he can access freely, as seen with the case of Auron and the fallen Keyblade wielders who were Xehanort's upperclassmen. So you think that Hades would have no problem in pulling Sora back from the realm of Quadratum, right? As unreality is described to be an afterlife to the likes of Sora as well as Strelitzia. Well, I think there will lie a massive problem that will help push the narrative of this specific direction that will be very blatant to the players, and that is the notion that Quadratum will be the one world, the one realm of existence that Hades will not be able to access or have free reign over. It could be due to unreality being completely outside of the reality. It could be due to Quadratum, despite being fiction and an afterworld, containing its own perspective of life, thus being outside of Hades' domain. But whatever the reason, it has been proven time and time again that Hades loves making deals, as we've seen in the Hercules movie and on numerous occasions throughout Kingdom Hearts with multiple characters. A deal may be struck with Donald and Goofy only for it to fall through almost instantly, really pushing the perspective that Sora may really be gone for good from the beginning of the game, only for Hades to make good on his deal in a different way, possibly telling Donald and Goofy that it may be possible to see Sora in different worlds that contain a crossover point where the thoughts of life and death intersect, as long as Sora makes the same journey halfway. And this is where we get to the idea of the worlds and their themes. Return to the darkness and claim your rightful identity as the ultimate lifeform in the ultimate adventure across generations, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Classic and modern Sonic reunite, remastered and expanded, but this time they are joined by none other than Shadow the Hedgehog to grant players the definitive mix of high-speed Sonic action. Black Doom has mysteriously returned to torment Shadow after the events of Shadow the Hedgehog in an all-new story that runs parallel to Sonic Generations. As the Time Eater seeks to consume all there is, Shadow must face his past and remind his enemies of old why he is the ultimate lifeform. Finally awakening the truth that is his Black Doom blood, Shadow now has access to Doom powers, which only make him a much more dangerous foe to his enemies. Supplemented by a signature use of Chaos Control, you can now harness the power of Shadow like never before in high-speed chases, fearsome boss battles, and a keen focus on exploration like nothing you've experienced before in the White Space, where Shadow must confront his painful memories in the form of his father figure Gerald Robotnik and his dearly departed friend Maria. Reach out, face your fears, and unlock the truth within Shadow's own darkness and become the ultimate lifeform once again in Sonic X Shadow Generations. For the sake of conveying this message and the pacing of this video, I've elected to choose very specific worlds that not only would exemplify this idea, but would be really fun and haven't really been explored in Kingdom Hearts before. But in no way am I stating that I abide by a specific number or I am confined to this particular selection of worlds. If you have a world choice that would go in line with these themes and it's not in this video, leave a comment. These worlds will deal with loss, sacrifice, death, and to varying degrees, remembrance. Some more focused on specific themes and some encompassing multiple if not all the themes. Of course, my first round draft pick would be a world that not only is an amazing film, but conveys all the right themes for a game like Kingdom Hearts 4. Coco, also known as Remember Me in certain regions, which by the way, that's also a very good name for the movie. A world based on this movie would not only have most of the checkmarks in loss, death, and remembrance, but will also contain a literal realm where Sora and those looking for him can be together for a time in the land of the dead. Within the movie's narrative that translates incredibly well into Kingdom Hearts, Sora can learn the importance of how people remember us after we depart and what kind of emotions we leave behind within them, as well as how different people deal with loss in terms of how characters like Miguel, Imelda, and Coco feel when faced with the film's events. All of this is compounded by the pervading theme of death, which in this film is portrayed in both a positive and negative light, which will help Sora understand various degrees of the spectrum surrounding that theme, all the while slowly but surely understanding the importance of family. And you would think, but Kingdom Hearts doesn't really explore that concept of family all that much, especially when compared how much they focus on friendship in the series. But family is a core aspect when conjuring feelings of the heart, and Sora can easily explore that concept within the concept of found family, that his feelings of friendship with specific characters can flourish into seeing certain characters as his family, as well as how the connections are made when it comes to certain other characters' origins, such as viewing characters like Roxas, Ventus, Xion, and yes, even Vanitas as his siblings due to his history with them. And this is all from Coco? You better believe it. Other movies that would be a good way of conveying these themes as well as being very Kingdom Hearts-like in spirit include that of Moana. This movie screams Kingdom Hearts so much. Literal concepts of the heart, the islands being plagued by the darkness, as well as the drive to leave one's home in order to explore what is beyond what you know. But when it comes to very specific themes surrounding death and loss, this can easily be explored in various ways, such as Moana's grandmother Tala, who becomes a spirit in order to guide Moana. She can also guide Sora, understanding his predicament being tied to that of an afterlife. This can also be explored in the overall journey of the film, as the impending darkness that seeks to ravage the sea and the islands within them can convey the dread of death that allows Sora to exist in that world alongside other characters of the living. And the notion of loss can be molded into the idea of being lost, that not only is the concept of navigating an uncharted sea, but with the characters such as Moana, Maui, and Taka losing their way only to rediscover who they truly are in the end. Speaking on the concept of loss, through being lost and then being found, what would be next on the docket is another hugely desired choice, Treasure Planet. While this movie doesn't truly deal with the concept of death as much as other films do, I mean, characters do die, but you know what I mean. This movie is all about the journey to find something that is lost, but at the same time, what that lost treasure you thought you were searching for happens to be something else entirely. But what Treasure Planet does explore is the theme of found family that can act as a point of understanding for Sora, where Jim Hawkins deals with the loss of the abandonment from his father only to find a father figure in John Silver. These concepts could make Sora think about his found family, but also explore the notion and question that Sora could ask himself: did he abandon his friends by doing what he did? And of course, the concept of the map to Treasure Planet, as well as the portal, can act as a focal point for Sora trying to find his way back home truly. But perhaps since he may be bound to unreality, he could attempt to open a portal back to his home, only to find that he is unable to pass through. Then we come to other dark worlds that could lead Sora to understanding the other concepts of his folly, such as the Black Cauldron. This movie will specifically tackle sacrifice, making Sora come to terms to how his own sacrificial tendencies throughout Kingdom Hearts, culminating with Kingdom Hearts 3, affect other people, which will be conveyed through Gurgly's sacrifice into the Black Cauldron, and Taron bargaining for his life, giving up his prized sword for his friend. These acts, as well as the overall threat from the Horned King, would really put into perspective the darker elements surrounding death and how it affects multiple people. Continuing off the rails of both sacrifice and death, we come to another heavily desired world of mine. And you know, thinking about it, these worlds are actually lining up quite nicely with this concept. Anyway, Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Within the story of how Atlantis is presented, the heart of Atlantis requiring a host in order to act and living off the collective emotions of those that have passed beforehand can really make Sora think about what feelings of the heart are left behind for those that continue to live on after loved ones die. Understanding the machinations of the King of Atlantis in hiding the heart of Atlantis, as well as dealing with the events brought forth from his death and, in extension, his absence, could lead Sora in realizing how his sacrifice could have much bigger repercussions than he initially thought. Comparing Rourke's theft of the heart of Atlantis to dire consequences back in his home reality that happens due to his absence, or in Quadratum due to his arrival, such as the Heartless being introduced to the city. And then we come to this. In the first Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, we see a forest that seems pretty familiar, along with what looks to be a mechanical foot or leg. You know where this is going, yes, a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts. But for this in particular, given the area, this would indeed have to be Endor, which is a locale featured specifically in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. This wouldn't be the first time where Kingdom Hearts fast-tracked a film or a series to a specific world or involvement, but for these messages of death, Return of the Jedi is actually perfect, as the film already deals with core concepts of Force ghosts already utilized in Episode 4 and 5, and of course, the death of Darth Vader, who finally redeems himself at the end of the movie and returns to being Anakin Skywalker. For a world in Kingdom Hearts, Return of the Jedi already deals with death, but also sacrifice and family that is all tied to the Skywalker bloodline and the true redemption of Anakin Skywalker from the dark side. With that in mind, the Force ghosts of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin could all lead their assistance with Sora's plight towards the end of the film's events in the world, offering their own versions of wisdom curated from each of their own experiences. Also, beyond that, mystical themes in Star Wars, in general, line up pretty nicely with Kingdom Hearts. It is truly my belief that while Kingdom Hearts 4 will feature many characters, both older and newer, the core story will focus on Sora's own journey of understanding and maturing in the sense of coming to terms with the concepts and themes surrounding death and how it could affect his heart, the heart of those connected to him, and possibly being that it could be manipulated by the Master of Masters. But it will be to Sora that traversing these worlds and themes of death can help him understand what must be done to face the Lost Masters, or possibly grow closer to them. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment and your theories in the comment section below, and be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK. Thanks for watching. Until the next Kingdom Hearts video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.